Hello, my name is Wallace, and I am a vampire. I wanted to do another video. I did two today. I had a couple thoughts. I had some time to relax. It's nighttime. Um, pretty common knowledge. Vampires are more powerful at night. I definitely feel more comfortable. Um, I feel my energy is strong. Um, I feel kind of like a humming magical energy inside of me. And I know it's getting stronger. I can feel it. Um, my leg was broken. I was hit by a car on a bicycle. And that was about like 8 or 9 months ago. About 7 or 8. Anyways, during the recovery process, never fun. But there's something surreal that I want to note in this video series I'm doing is that there's a there's a like a euphoric pleasure inside my leg. It's really weird. There's like, of course you expect there to be pain, but there's not pain. There's like um, a sensation of pleasure. It's really weird, and I definitely think it's vampiric of some sort, some kind of magical thing. But it's weird. I definitely feel it, and the pain, it comes and it goes, and my body and the vampire inside of me has the ability to um, heal, but also the ability to let it feel pain and let it deteriorate. And what I mean by that is that at times the pain, it comes and it goes, and I may do a certain activity like lifting something, and in my mind I have experienced lifting certain amounts of weight that I know that my body can handle, and at certain times, given the same circumstances, that my leg may hurt from it or it may not, and it's interesting. I know my vampirism is tied to that, and I know that it has its own reasons for things. Uh, in my body and the vampire inside of me, it's beyond my cognitive understanding. Um, but yeah, I definitely feel a weird pleasure emanating from my leg, and I'm not complaining. um, like I know that I've heard, and I don't know much about this, and but I've heard that the body can release like morphine or something like that, some kind of chemical. I'm not sure what it is, but that gives off a good feeling, and I think it's something along those lines. I've started watching a video on Netflix called Dracula, vampire movie with Keanu Reeves in it. It's pretty good. I think it's from the 80s or whatever, but it's actually interesting because you know how it's probably the most, like, you could tell a lot of love went into it, and like trying to be like artistic about it, but also historically um, true to history. Like even if it may not, and I may not know the, true history of things, but it seems from watching it that it is, it seems less hokey than other movies that I've watched in that respect. And I think it was interesting. I have a story. I did a video once. We're talking about meeting a guy who's kind of a crazy guy, but I was drinking, met a guy, and he said, "Hey, I'm a werewolf." And I said, "Oh, you're obviously crazy." Anyways, but he did give me some information about vampires that I think was valuable, or at least I listened to, and it perked my interest. And one of the things he said about me when we were together and he was doing this kind of, you could say, kind of a magical kind of like a thing, if you will, where we were both, sitting, and he said, give me your hands. I'm going to do a reading of you, which a crazy person would say. But anyways, um, he says, I know what you are. We already talked. He already knew as a vampire. When this was, this is further along in the. He says, I know what you are. You're a dragon. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't ask him. So years later, fast forward to now, I'm watching this movie, and the movie remarked about the 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 order, the family of Dracula, referred to as the dragon, uh, the defenders sworn to defend the Church of Christ. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, you know. But yeah, it made me think, you know. I do believe in God. I do love Christianity. Um, I love people who believe in Christianity. I was raised Catholic before I became a vampire. Went to. Uh, it's really weird. I want to make a remark on this. I think it's so with the belief in God and divine things. I believe that it is entirely possible to have been shaped by God at an early age. Why I'm saying this is that I don't know why I didn't ask certain questions when I was younger regarding, Catholic mass or Catholic things and religious, spiritual things. I didn't really ask questions at particular times. And I know what I'm trying to get at is that by withholding information, um, by not asking certain questions, that you can come to different conclusions. Just like asking questions, you can learn about things. By not asking questions, you can withhold yourself from, you know, different life circumstances. So, what I'm trying to get at, what I'm trying to connect, and what I'm trying to, these pieces of information I'm trying to connect is that, is it possible that God shaped me as a child, as a young adult, and, adolescent into adulthood? I would say yes, you know. As a believer in spiritual divine things, um, it's not too far fetched to believe that I want to say like preordained things, talking about that kind of topic, the but I think it's easy to connect pieces selectively. Uh, for instance, I think that there's a psychological thing where people say that, you're looking through a lens, you're looking through a filter, you're seeing what you want to see, so to speak. But it is fun to me and interesting to think about it. Order of Dracula, the Dragon, Defenders of Christ, sworn to defend Christ. It was interesting. But of course, in the movie, Dracula, the knight, he was a warrior who lost his wife. He went crazy and went against his faith in the church in his moment of madness. And thus becoming a vampire. That's what the history, at least pertaining in regards to the movie, had portrayed events. But who's to know? Who's to say? Do I have the blood of Dracula inside of me? Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, we're talking about spiritual stuff, talking about magic. Don't make much sense. There is a part of me that is curious. A lot of questions regarding vampires and vampire lore, history of things. There is a part of me trying to find myself. I think that's in all people, wanting to know themselves better, understand themselves. My hair is a absolute mess, but I like it the way it is. For some reason, I feel like wearing a suit and tie tomorrow. I don't know why. Like the weather here in Alabama is, I don't know how certain people do it. They drive cars. I don't drive a car, I drive a bicycle. I ride a bicycle. But it's like, I don't know. You know how you dress up some days depending on how you feel. Like I definitely feel like dressing up for some reason. Like I feel like an intelligent, respectable human being, you know. Uh, but I think it'd be pretty. I wouldn't say illogical, but perhaps that's the right word. I do have nice clothes, but the thing is, I wouldn't want to get them dirty. Oh look, my phone's about to die. I'm too lazy to go to charger. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Sorry. But I appreciate y'all for watching, and thanks for supporting my channel. Bye.